Hey Gems, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. Thanks for joining me today. I couldn't remember if I said that already or not. Sorry, I just started the video and then I had to stop it because it's just like this fly just like buzzing around. It's still here, but I'm gonna try and deal. um I feel like that's kind of your energy right now though, like honestly, just irritated and feeling kind of like stuck and like just like things coming at you. You have the box, the vessel, Alithia, the nectar, and the self. I mean, and the box is exactly that type of energy, right? I mean, the box is the idea of, you know, every time you get out of a situation, you find yourself in another one and it's more confining than the last one was. And it's like, oh my God, you know, like the cycle is repeating itself, but the cycle is becoming more and more confining and it's about to just squeeze me out of myself like some toothpaste, you know, like just this feeling of restraint. And the vessel is the idea of build it or break it. And I feel like there's this idea of like, learn to breathe in the corset or take the damn thing off. That's what the decision feels like. Learn to exist in an environment that feels confining to you because you or another person think for whatever reason that it is the most beneficial of decisions to make in life, or chuck the whole thing because it's a fucking corset. Why are you wearing it in the first place? You know, like it's restraining, it's confining. Like, why do you feel the need to commit yourself to something that prevents you from breathing? And I feel like that's really kind of like the conversation. Sorry, my fingers are filthy. I've been outside all day. But like, why do you feel the need to, I want to say like temper yourself on behalf of other people, right? Like, and I don't know, I'm a Leo Venus, so my love is like, be your biggest, brightest self, you know, like, and I'll support you, you know. Well, I do that too, you know what I mean? And so it's just kind of like this idea of like being your biggest, brightest self. And if you want to be your biggest, brightest self, but you're surrounded by people who are constantly telling you that you need to temper that part of yourself, then you can't actually be your biggest, brightest self. And if you can't be the best version of you, then you're not going to have the most self-love and the most self-respect, because you're going to feel like you're constantly tempering yourself. And then when people come around you who do shine because they don't self-constrain, you're going to feel intimidated by that because, or threatened by that, because you're not doing that yourself, but that's your choice. You know what I mean? Like, that's not on anybody but you. And I feel like there's kind of this reality that like you keep coming into these same situations, and it's like ultimately like that's a you thing, you know? And if you really want to change that, then, you know, like you need to really practice an awareness of just that mentality. Because the only way you're going to be able to reach out and touch that freedom that I almost want to say like envy other people having, is if you embody that yourself. I feel like you can't temper yourself for other people and then get mad at different people because they don't temper themselves on behalf of others like you. Like that's your limitation. You know, I really feel like there's this idea of limitation and who puts that limitation where and how much accountability you have in that situation. Because I almost feel like if you would just change your focus, it would all look very differently to you. You know what I mean? Six of Pentacles. So, I mean, yeah, and Six of Pentacles is like time. It's time, you know, like get your head out of your ass. You know, that's what I want to say. You know, I don't know, like recognize recognize where your own personal limitations are as an individual and move them. Step around them, overcome them, face your challenges, face your fears, and grow and develop as a person. Don't cap out and then get pissed off. You know what I mean? Sorry, that sounded really harsh, but whatever, it's true. Okay, the 10 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, which again is that idea of like, stop holding on to shit that you don't have to hold on to. Like, that's like, let go of it, you know? I mean, the 3 of Swords, she's holding on to those and she's looking away because it brings her pain, but she still won't let go anyways. And it's like, let go of holding on to things that limit you and cause you pain, because it's the only way that you're going to be able to really go towards what it is that you feel like you're missing out on. Because again, I feel like there's an energy here of like, well, I feel like I'm missing out. Well, you know, like whose fault is that? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's this idea of like, if you aren't, and Gems, you could be on either side of this story, so take how it resonates. But I'm just gonna share how it comes through, and you know, like, do with it what you will. But it's kind of like, if you weren't so busy telling everybody like what they were supposed to be doing or how they were supposed to be behaving or da 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 da, and you were just engaging in life, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the person who, like the person on the playground who goes and tells everybody like, well, you have to play this game because da 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 da. And then you have the kids who are just like running around doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You know what I mean? And then like, you're mad at them because they're running around doing whatever the fuck they want to do and they're not adhering. And I feel like there's this idea of like, well, instead of getting mad at people for not adhering, maybe go figure out what you would do if you didn't have somebody telling you what the fuck you were supposed to do all the time. You know, how you were supposed to feel about it or how you were supposed to respond to things. Like, get a grip. Sorry, Gems, I don't say that, you know, like one of my ex-husband was a gem, one of my lifelong friends was a gem or is a gem. I mean, I say lifelong friends, we haven't been friends in a few years, but still somebody who I will always consider one of my dearest friends, but a Gemini, you know what I mean? It's just you guys get in your tantrums almost, you know, where it's like, I want things to go this way, and you know, and it's that like, no shade, you know, like it's that whole duality thing. Like, I get it, like you can flip it on, you know, whenever you so choose, and I feel like it's one of those moments where you so chose and nobody gave a fuck, and they were like, well, let's just leave that kid over there having a tantrum, you know. Like, so the High Priestess and Judgment, because really and truly, you know, like if you aren't willing to live life and experience life, then you have no ground to stand on when it comes to any, you know, like judgment or input. You know, like if all you can say is so-and-so told me, you know, what my daddy said, or my boyfriend said, or my, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have an original thought in your head, do you? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like if you can't be original, if you're constantly going back to, well, this is what da-da-da-da, and this is what da-da-da-da, but there's no life experience to back it up, like that is the pain point of privilege. And it's lack of experience. And I feel like when you speak from a place that lacks experience, and you only speak from a place of like, this is how it's supposed to be, or this is what I, da-da-da-da, then nobody takes you seriously. And it's not because you're not intelligent. It's not because you're not, a good husband or a good friend or a good, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's that I feel like you got caught in a cycle of this is how it's supposed to be, and then stayed there longer than the people around you. And then the people around you decided that they were going to try it out anyways, you know, like, sure, that's how it's supposed to be, but who says it's how it has to be? You know what I mean? And that upset you. But it's like, you know, a little bit of like, we'll get over it, get out there and explore, live life before you come at anybody with your opinion about it. Nobody's going to listen. um, okay, let's do one last card for gems. The gem. I love that. Yes, because life experience is pressure. That shit's rough. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get out in them streets and explore, but it's scary and it's not always easy. And there will be times where you'll get screwed over, and you can either exist in that pinball of trigger, which I feel like that was in the Libra read, but you know, like, you can either exist in that energy, or you can acknowledge the fact that you've been under some pressure and that you've developed, and that there's that gem within you, you know, like that exploration within you, and that ability to understand life because you've lived life within you. But you have to be willing to embrace life and the experience of it. And you can't be like so temperamental that you just like are the kid in the corner who just pitches a tantrum so nobody fucks with you. Okay, well, gems, I hope that doesn't piss everybody off. I'm sure it'll piss off whoever watches it, but you know, like, it's an energy that we have to work through. It's not original to you or exclusive to you. It's just a part of the human experience. And, you know, like, hey, look at you experiencing the human experience. Welcome to, you know, reality. It's not sunshine and rainbows, but people will take you seriously.